The commercial crops that we have in our nursery are black pepper, areca. There are different types of areca, about 8 different types. Coconut, and coconut as well. There is the dwarf variety. There is a tall one. There is a cross between dwarf and tall and dwarf. These varieties are there, and then we have grafted pepper, grafted cacao, and then there are medicinal plants and also ornamental plants and also some herbs. So we'll just walk through it. At the end, we will see the grafting, how grafting is done, why grafting is done. Yeah, we'll just take a walk. So basically, the idea of grafting is to have the best variety of plant, or the high yielding and disease resistant, biotic and abiotic stress tolerating a variety of plants. So what happens, say a farm has put cacao. So I'm just giving you an example of cacao right now. And they have made their plants seedlings through seeds, and then they've planted it. Okay, so they have put 100 trees, and after 4-5 years, when it starts yielding, you see about 10% of them not really yielding well, and another 10% kind of dying. They're not sustaining the stress that they go through, the both biotic and abiotic stress, whether it's through diseases or through high salinity or drought or too much sunlight. And then another 10% yielding okay, not too bad, or maybe another 50% yielding okay, not too bad. And then you see the top 10%, right, who are tolerant to stress. They are yielding really well. The pod size is bigger, the pod numbers are higher, the bean sizes are bigger, and it also tastes great. Okay, so then we want these 10 of these plants, high performing plants, everywhere in our farms. That's what farmers desire. So that's why we do grafting. So we can take the base of any plant, right, and then we make an incision. First we cut, and then a straight vertical incision, and the bottom is like a V, and the top is like an arrow. Okay, so on the top is taken from a high yielding plant. Okay, it's called a scion. The scion is apical scion. That's taken from high yielding plant, and then you make that whatever goes inside the V, the spear, and not the spear. That's like a straight arrow. Yeah, and then that's inserted in, and then you kind of cover it up with the plastic to protect it from diseases. It's like a bandage, right? And then there won't be any leaves. You cut off all the leaf. Why do we cut off the leaf? Because leaf is the one which is taking the nutrients through liquid. When there is no transportation happening because it's cut, we want whatever is remaining moisture here has to go through the leaf. So if you keep all the leaves, it will absorb the moisture out of the scion. So scion dies. So we want the scion to survive until the connection happens, the bridge happens, and when usually we leave one leaf so that it kind of sucks in, and as it sucks in, the connection happens. Right, the connection between the xylem and capillary connection. This is a grafted one. You can see the graft.
This is the joint. Okay. Oh yes.
Okay, guys, you wanna see this? Okay. In the earlier case, that was both cacao, both are similar looking plants. It's just that we just don't know what the performance of the bottom cacao and the top cacao is. No, top cacao we know, the bottom one we don't know. So that's what we did with the cacao grafting, cocoa grafting. And in here, it's a completely different story. You have a base plant which looks very different. Look at the leaves in this, yeah, and look at the leaf in this. Correct? What's happening here is basically we are kind of mixing up colubrinum, which is like a it's kind of related to pepper, but not the same. This is wild. This is super disease resistant. It can grow anywhere in the wild with the high rainfall, or both biotic and abiotic stress is really high. It survives. Okay, it's going to, but it doesn't produce pepper. So what we do is we graft that with apical scion of pepper. I'm going to just bring one of that. So first what you do, you chop off the high yielding pepper is grown using serpentine method. We're going to go there and see. Basically what we do is we make the wine, pepper wine run along a slanted section, and wherever there is a node, we insert like a pin and make sure the node is stuck into the planting material, like pot mixture, and then it produces roots, and that's nodes, and we chop it off just below that and plant that. So one running vine can give you 4, right? And then you chop 4, plant it, and then again let it grow, chop and plant it. Okay, and that way we have the apical scion, right? So or we chop into apical scion itself. So once the apical scions, you have the apical scions, you take again colubrinum, and if my mother was here, she would have showed you. My hands are not as steady as her. So she basically takes off all leaf from the top and chops this off, and she leaves only 1 or 2 leaves at the bottom, and then again V insertion, and then the spear on the top and the apical scion as well. You insert that and you wrap it like you've seen here, right?
The leaf is fine here because it is going to be a different plant altogether, right?
Yeah, but this is below the incision, right? Below
That's the existing.
below the scion. This is the existing one. We still want this because we want this to survive.
Okay.
Correct? So there is some capillary action happening right now because the leaves are there. This connection has not happened yet.
Okay.
Right? And as these connection happen, the leaf will develop here. So this is looking good. Right? It survived. There is high yielding variety called Panur 1. Okay, so this high yielding variety we planted, and we need to harvest this is the apical scion, right? So this is harvested through the serpentine method. We let it grow and put knots so that we can keep taking the apical scion from different from Panur 1, and once we have that, we take a colubrinum, which is a disease resistant variety, and make the graft, right? So once this is done, you cover it so that no insects bothers it, or moisture is retained. And once you see, I think we can kind of take it off now. The thing has come. Okay.
You want to seal it or close it?
This is this is
Pest resistance transfers to the new plant also now.
yeah. So the pest resistance, it's usually pest comes from the soil,
Right.
right? So that resistant variety is already there. Yeah.
Does it alter the taste of the pepper?
No. Yeah. Yield reduces because it's not the same base that it's used to. No. So the yield reduces. However, the problem here is if you plant 4 pepper plants, only 1 survives. But if you plant 4 grafted pepper plants, all the 4 survives. Yeah. So out of the 4, obviously you're going to get way more yield than the 1 plant.